Namaste, my darlings. Welcome to the mat and welcome to this online coven. So for those who are brand new here, my name is Bethany and I am the Yogi Witch. And thank you for joining me today for this beautiful new moon flow and spell work. So in today's flow, not only are we going to be working through a very gentle and simple kind of 25-minute yoga flow, looking at creating some space in the body, we are also looking to create some peace in the mind. So while we are flowing, we are also going to be doing a little spell of self-love and a little spell to kind of release anything that's been holding us back, especially as we are working with the new moon energies. So the new moon is a time of healing, it's a time of new beginnings, and it is a beautiful time to set intentions for the next few weeks ahead before we make it to the full moon. So today, like I said, we're going to be working with some spell work while we flow. So you're going to need a couple of props for today. You might need a block for your yoga practice aspect to give you that bit of support. You're going to be working with candle magic. So we're going to be working with a yellow candle for joy, a pink candle for self-love, and a white candle for purification. You're going to need a kind of journal or some pieces of paper and a pen, some sage, and I also have some lemon water to help clear and open up the third eye. So you are welcome to mix and match anything that you have here, especially if perhaps, I'm sorry if you can hear a bell, it's my cat. Especially if you don't perhaps have the pink or yellow candle and you can just use a white candle. That is absolutely fine. But give yourselves a few minutes to get yourself sorted, grab everything that you need for today's new moon ritual. And when you're ready, I will meet you back here in just a moment so we can get started. Okay, so we've set up everything that we need for this spell ahead. Now you're going to take that block and you're going to come to sit onto it, creating a lovely long line of energy from the base of the spine to the top of the neck. Now if you have sage for your practice, you can light it here, or maybe your incense. But if you don't worry, just come to close the eyes, flip those palms to the sky, and I will light my sage, sending this cleansing smoke from my mat to yours. Ready to kind of purify the area, the sacred space of our mats. So we may welcome in this new moon in a beautiful and clear space, clear of negative energies, clear of any kind of worry or stresses from the month just gone. Now our candles are lit behind us to kind of help with the energy we'd like to welcome in. Like I said, we're working with the white candle for purification, a yellow candle for joy, and a pink candle for self-love. So with the eyes closed, know that I'm sending the sacred smoke of my sage stick from my space to yours as we come together as a collective coven. Beginning today's practice with a beautiful deep inhale and a slow exhale all the way out. So taking a few moments here to ground ourselves through the breath. So connecting with our practice, starting to bring our mind to the mat. And like I said in the introduction, the spell that we're working with today is a self-love and releasing a new moon spell. So we'll be working with journal prompts, writing down kind of our spell and our ritualistic work as we go through the flow. So you can choose to answer these journal prompts maybe in your mind, or if you have your piece of paper and pen nearby, you can answer them now. But the first thing we are going to become aware of is how we are feeling today. So writing, today I feel. And then writing exactly how you feel. Now you can go into as much depth with your answers as possible. You can, like I said, write them down or maybe just answer them in your mind, but being as honest as possible. If you need to, press pause on this flow at any point to give yourself more time. No rush. But once you've answered your question, we're going to take one hand to the heart and we're going to bring the fingertips to the mat beside us. So starting to connect heart and earth together. Starting to kind of balance the emotions, so not letting them get into our head so much. Starting to ground through them, balance them. Starting to find strength through them. Being honest with yourself in this moment on how you are feeling. Beautiful. Before all together we inhale. Exhale, release the hand on the heart to the mat beside you, roll back the shoulders, feel a kind of tingling and a lengthening sensation coming through the spine and through those arms as we first find length through the crown of the head with our inhale. And then exhale, we allow right ear to drop down to the right shoulder. Inhale to move back to the center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Beautiful. Bring it back to the center. This time, as we drop the right ear down to the right shoulder, we bring the right hand to the mat and we're going to sweep the left arm up and overhead, getting a really gorgeous side body stretch here. If you need to, bend into that right elbow a little bit as if you're opening up all the ribs down the right hand side. Inhale to engage that core, beautiful. Exhale, left hand floats down to the mat beside us, reach and find length overhead with that right arm. Bend into the left elbow, open up those ribs. Yes, take it one more time, either side, right hand to the mat, left arm overhead. Left hand finds its way to the mat, right arm up and overhead. Beautiful. Inhale overhead. Exhale, right hand comes to the left thigh, left arm wraps behind the back here. Getting a really gorgeous twist. Remember, we want to keep that long line of chi or energy running up the spine. So find length here. Holding for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, release the arms back overhead. Exhale, left hand, right thigh, wrap the right arm behind the back. Find that gorgeous twist. Beautiful. Inhale, both hands find their way overhead. Make a fist and take some really gorgeous wrist rolls here. Rolling in one direction, rolling in the other. Before we begin to bend the elbows to the side, elbows come in line with those shoulders, pull open the hands and find a back bend here. Hold for 5, 4, beautiful, open up that heart for 3, for 2, for 1, release the hands by your side, and you're going to bring the body back a little bit, bring the feet to the mat, and we're going to move to a little modified Molassener pose. So maybe you're sitting on your block here, but the toes are going to point off to the 45-degree angle. Heels come in, and we're going to use the elbows here to push the knees aside. Hands come into a prayer position, and we close the eyes here. So starting to connect with our root chakra. If you want to go deeper, you can lift off that block. But holding for 3 breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. Remember, don't let those shoulders roll over, find your length. Holding for 3, for 2, for 1. From here, we're going to open the arms nice and wide, right hand pushes aside the right knee. We lift the left arm up and overhead. If you have a bind, you can find it here by wrapping the right arm around the knee, interlocking with those left fingers, gaze up. Take deep breaths here, use that block for support. Yes, together we inhale. Exhale, gently release the bind. First, the hands come back to that prayer position. Find your lift, and then we open left arm to the left-hand side. Reach the right arm up and overhead. If you have the bind, you can find it here. Holding for 3, for 2, for 1. Release the bind. Beautiful. Sit gently back onto the block, and we're going to lift the block all the way up. Legs come together to find our way into a gentle butterfly legs here. So bottom of the feet to come together, knees fall to the side. Now, if you find those knees are a bit tight, you can pop a couple of blocks or a couple of pillows underneath them just to kind of support this pose. Or if you feel all right, you can start to forward fold. But we're going to find our notebook or our piece of paper once more. Again, you might choose to write it, or write it. You might choose to answer it in your head. But today, I'm going to answer. Today, I surrender to. So writing everything that you feel in this moment, everything you are willing to surrender to and you're willing to kind of let go. There's a lot of strength in finding those things that are taking hold of us in the mind, in the heart. For example, today I surrender to the sense of fear, and that's okay. It's okay to be frightened of new things. It's okay to be maybe perhaps nervous of an event coming up or a new situation. That is okay. And I'm going to surrender to that fear, but I'm also going to release it all at the same time. So be honest with yourself. Writing everything it is, and maybe the reason why. If you need longer, you can press pause, but keep forward folding here in your butterfly legs. Connect with the root chakra, connect with the sacral chakra as you surrender. Two more breaths wherever you are. Beautiful. On your inhale, lift the gaze forwards. Exhale, roll the body all the way up. We extend the left leg here, keep the right leg nice and bent, and that foot is going to come into the thigh, coming to find a single leg stretch. So remember that left hip is going to float forward, pull it back into alignment, and find your stretch, not forcing the body to bend, to find the toes. Soften that knee if you need to, and find that length along the hamstring. Almost if you want to bring that knee to the space between the eyebrows. 5 breaths here. Beautiful. Inhale to gaze at the toes. Exhale to roll the body up. We're going to keep the left hand resting on that left leg. Right arm floats up and overhead here. Find your side body stretch. Open up those ribs. Holding 3, 2, and 1. We send right arm behind us. Maybe you simply stay here, lifting the left arm to the sky, hips stay to the mat. Or if you have it available, you can find yourself to a modified wild thing, embracing a back bend as you lift the hips up. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release those hips down. And we switch sides. Extend the right leg. Bend that left knee. Now remember, we pull the right hip back into alignment. Inhale, arms float overhead. Exhale, forward fold here. And recognizing if perhaps one side of the body is a little bit more open than the other, that's okay. Inhale, we gaze at those toes. Exhale, roll the body up. Right hand stays on the right leg. Sweep the left arm up and overhead. Side body stretch. Embrace the space. Open up all those ribs as if you're just breathing into that left lung. Holding for 3, for 2, and for 1. We roll the body up, left hand finds its way just behind us. You can reach the right arm up and overhead, or you can even lift those hips off the mat. Find your modified wild thing, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the hips down to the mat, and you're going to cross those ankles to find your way to a tabletop position, finding that block once more. From our tabletop position, we're going to bring those knees a little bit further apart than hips width, bring the big toes together, and we're going to place the forehead onto the block here. So starting to wake up that third eye. The arms can stay in front of you, or maybe send them down by your side. Now that pressure between the eyebrows from the block can be a bit strange and a bit intense to begin with, but the longer we stay here, the more we melt into it. And you might even find it comfortable to take a little rock of the head from side to side, as if you're massaging the space between the eyebrows. So embracing the safety of this child's pose. This sense of relaxation and peace in both the body and the mind as we stay here for 5 breaths. Embracing the energy that Mother Moon is bringing us. the sense of healing, the sense of restoring mind, body and spirit. 3 more breaths. Before we inhale, exhale, press the hands next to the face and we lift the body up, coming into a little hero's pose here. Maybe taking a moment to arch that spine, especially if you feel any kind of sensations or tensions in that lower spine. Moving on to this next prompt. Write it down or answer it in your mind. But embracing that comfort you had from your child's pose. Answering, today I invite in be honest, be true. Write everything and anything that you wish. This is your spell. This is your new moon practice. Honest, be true. Write everything and anything that you wish. This is your spell. This is your new moon practice. Remember, press pause if you need a little bit longer. But from here, we've invited whatever it is that we'd like to welcome into this new moon energy. So let's open up this heart chakra. Let's welcome it into our soul by finding the block. And we're going to take it over to the left-hand side of the body. First, we lift all the way onto the knees. You can tuck the toes under. And we're going to send this block right next to the left ankle. Hand comes to rest. And we reach this right arm up and overhead, coming into a little modified camel pose. If you prefer to practice out the block, then maybe that hand finds the heel. But lift this right arm up and over. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send the hips back, move the block, or simply switch sides. Right hand finds the right heel, lift left arm up and overhead. Half camel, embrace this beautiful back bend, this beautiful heart opener for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release the body tabletop, and from here we take a couple of cat-cow stretches. Inhale to drop the chest gaze forwards. Exhale to curve the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Beautiful. Recognizing if you're holding any worry or any stress in the hips, the lower spine, or even the shoulders and neck. And without rushing, the next time that you go to round the shoulders, push the seating away. We tuck the toes under, lift the hips and find ourselves briefly into a down dog here. Sending those hip bones nice and high to the sky, gaze towards the knees. Connecting with the earth through those fingers and toes. Holding for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Beautiful. Lower the knees to the mat, cross the ankles, and we move back to a seated position. Final question before we come into the final pose of a supported bridge. In this final aspect, this is where we set and seal the spell. So we're writing down our intention for this new moon. And this can be anything that you'd like it to be, no matter how big or how small. There's no wrong answers here. This is your practice. So write down exactly what it is that you'd like to welcome in. You're in a safe space. We've cleansed the space. We have our candle magic working for us. We have all the elements going on here. It really is a kind of beautiful new moon ritual. So use this time to set yourself the intention. Writing today, during this new moon, and then set your intention, whatever it might be. Just a super simple new moon flow and ritual. It's one of my favourite ways to welcome in the new moon, to kind of work with witchcraft and with yoga. It is a really beautiful combination between the both, finding that magic through movement, through our breath. So if you need longer to write down your intention, you're welcome to do so. But moving on to the final pose, starting to align all our chakras, we're going to find our block, relax all the way onto the back, and from here we lift the hip bones to the sky, maybe taking a bit deeper by bringing the block on its side, or you can lie it flat down. But lifting these hips to the sky, flip the palms up towards the moon, and coming into our supported bridge, so feeling the alignment of the chakras, bringing heaven to earth. It really is a beautiful pose. I'm just going to hold it here for a few breaths. Picturing that intention we set in our minds, feeling it in our spirits. Whatever it might be that we've chosen, it's personal. Although we've come together as a collective coven today on the mat, remember each practice is personal. What we think, how we feel, how we come into the poses, etc. We are just bouncing off and being inspired by not only Mother Moon, but by all the energies of this collective coven. Five more breaths here, in through the nose and out through the nose. before together we inhale and we exhale. Pressing into our feet, we lift the hip bones off our block and take a few little windscreen wiper movements from left to right, massaging the space, massaging, before we gently allow the body to roll to one side of our mat and bring ourselves into a comfortable seated position. Roll back the shoulders. We drop the chin to the chest and gently blink the eyes open to come back into the room. So feeling that sense of peace in the mind, sense of space in the body, and that beautiful feeling of magic in the soul. So to seal this spell, all you're going to do is to blow out the candles. And then sealing this energy that we've brought together as a collective coven by bringing the hands to heart center. Inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth, bowing low with gratitude to the strength of our minds for coming to the mat today, to Mother Moon for lending us her beautiful healing energy during this lunar phase, and as always to those who came together as a collective coven. It was an honor to share a little new moon spell and yoga flow with you. Super simple, but a really kind of beautiful and inspiring way to align all the energies into one gorgeous practice. Now, in terms of the answers to your kind of journaling that you did throughout this flow, there's many ways you can deal with this. You can rip it out and pop it into an envelope and keep it for later, maybe just keep it in your journaling work, or you can burn it, completely depending on what your practice is and what you like to work with. I personally like to burn my intention just because I feel it sends it out to the universe and it keeps it very personal and private to me. But yeah, it was a true honor to kind of come together to honor the new moon, to flow, to work on some spell work together. Now, don't forget, I do upload 3 free flows each week, and I do upload a new moon and a full moon flow every single month. But thanking you so much for joining me here today, sending all my love and all my magic to you. I hope to see you again soon, my darlings. Blessed be.